Hey everybody, I'm David Magone. Today I thought I would share with you a short progression that you can use to train for handstand presses from a wide-legged forward folding position to a full handstand. Now when you get this down, it's possible to do it from a position where your legs are all the way together from standing. You can also use the same mechanics to press from a seated wide-legged fold. If you're a yoga practitioner, you can use it to press from the crow posture, and also other poses like the firefly posture, where your legs are kind of over the arms and you can basically press all the way up there. There are a number of different ways to go about this. I know the hollowing approach is popular, but for me, I like to do the exact opposite. So when I work on a handstand press, I essentially focus on curling my tailbone really high, and I treat it like a back bend. Once my tailbone is up, I pretend that I'm trying to lift my collarbones as high as I can, and then from that point, I pretend I've got a really long tail. I lift that tail as high as I can, as though I'm literally trying to touch it to the top of my head. So when pressing, the mechanics are to lift the tailbone, to press the hands down, to keep the collarbones lifted. From there, you can basically leverage the levers of your body to basically get your skeleton position into placement so that you can, as efficiently as possible, pop up to the top. Now, when you're ready to start training for it, I think the little baby hops are the best way to start. So initially, you can start from a wide-legged position. Momentum really helps at first, so you can start out with your hands off of the ground. And from there, you do that tail thing. You lift it really high in the air and you keep your collarbones up. Now, as you lean forward, you press your hands down, you lift your tailbone and your collarbones, and you practice taking a baby step forward toward the hands. Now, at first, you can try a bunch of those until you get it down, but once that starts to feel pretty comfortable, you just take it a little higher. So the next time around, hands are lifted, tailbone is high and the collarbone's up. As you lean forward, you press down, and you see if you can take your tail just a little bit higher before floating the feet forward to the hands. Now, once you finally got to the point where that's feeling pretty good, you follow the same mechanics to get all the way upside down. At this point, you might consider starting with your hands all the way on the floor to start, or you can use the momentum trick again. Essentially, it's just the same. You lift your tailbone, you lift your collarbones. As you press down through your hands, you lift your tail upward as high as you can. And then as soon as your hips move above the shoulders, you scissor your legs together and space up there and hang out for just a little bit. Now, when you're ready to follow the reverse process down, you scissor your legs out to the sides. Same sort of thing. The tailbone lifts really high, the collarbones remain elevated, and when you come down, you lengthen your spine again. Now, it'll no doubt take a little bit of practice, but if you're working toward this, I think that one of the best ways to start is by beginning at one edge of the room. You can take 10 or 15 hops from one side of the room to the other. You can rest for a little bit and then come back to it. After a little while, you'll be able to get a little bit higher until at some point you're able to do the full extravaganza.